Hey y'all, it's been a while. I've been kind of hibernating in the house. Had some work done on the sunroom and dealt with the tree that fell and having a couple trees cut down and started thinking about the garden. We've been kind of snowed in for like 3, 4 weeks now here in Kentucky. So I thought, why not go ahead since my fig trees that I brought inside are waking up, and I cut some of those stems off, and I'll show that in just a second. So I'm going to show you how I rooted a bunch of those stems to make multiple fig trees. So I'll show you what I started with. Okay, so this is some of the stuff I brought in for the winter, and this was one of the fig trees that I brought in. It's starting to wake up again. This one right here, you'll see I've got this. That is where I took cuttings from. So these figs might give a little bit of a crop at first, and then any new growth will do the majority of the crop. So you cut these down as you know, within a couple of feet. I probably could have cut this down more, but I'm just going to let it, maybe see if I can get some fruits on this stem this year before it branches out and does more fruits. So, you know, hopefully I'll get 2 sets of crops from this, but you'll see where I cut some stems off. And I covered these stems in some plastic. Some people use candle wax, and that's to keep the moisture in so the stem wouldn't die. Let me show you the ones that I didn't do that and show you what happened. Okay, here's another one that I brought in. It was out in the sunroom and it was getting really cold in there, so I decided to bring it in and let it wake up. I just brought it in a week ago, and you can see it is trying to wake up. My nails are dirty from these working in dirt today, but it's starting to wake up already. But right here where I didn't cover it, it looks like, see that? Brittle. I think it dried out. Maybe it will stop at this point. This stem looks good. So maybe if I hadn't have done that, I think that those stems would have stayed good. So that's why I covered those tips. Right here's another one that I didn't cover, and it's dead. So this, I don't know how far back this branch is dead, but I mean, it feels dead right there already. So I should have covered that, and it would have kept that branch more alive. Okay, so what I did was I got a closed container. Look at there. Look at all that. And I have a seed starting mix in here, and I dampened it really well. And I cut a bunch of these cuttings from the fig trees. You can see they've been in here for about 3 weeks. So I just kept the lid on it. I did them at an angle and just covered up the bottom halves. And I did mix some raw honey with cinnamon, and I dipped the bottoms in there and just dip it in some raw honey mixed with cinnamon, and then I stuffed them in the dirt in this seed starting mix, and I kept it moist in here. I also tied off the tops of any of those that that I cut, if it was like a long branch that I cut in different segments. That way it wouldn't dry out, and you can see it actually worked. See, it's got growth coming, and there's your roots. But I literally just, you know, you can see how I pushed them down in there, and kept that lid on and just set it aside in a nice warm place in the house. And 3 weeks I have rooting. Don't want to pull too hard and damage any potential new roots. Ooh, look at that. See, it works really well. So that's how you root fig trees. So what I'm going to do is get these put up in, I saved McDonald's cups, but let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have McDonald's cups, and I burned a hole right there, and on the other side you can do 2 to 3 holes at the bottom. And I'm just potting these up after they start rooting in these McDonald's cups, so I don't have to buy any containers. And what I did was I mixed potting mix with some perlite, and put these in about 3/4 of the way down, and just get them potted up in these McDonald's cups. It's called repurposing, and they'll be ready. Hopefully, I'll put them under a grow light in the house, and they'll be ready, hopefully, for sale. I might keep a couple and sell the rest. I've got plenty to sell at the farmer's swap in the spring, so that's how you do fig cuttings. All right, so this is how I do it. Got my cup. Take a lighter. Burn that little hole. There's another. This is just for drainage. And I got some of this. Fill it about that full. And here's my rooted cutting. And it will continue to root on up and down the stem to make it a nice strong rooted plant by the time spring gets here. Okay, there you go. Okay, this is how you root fig cuttings. It's not that hard. You can do it easy. You can turn one plant into 30 within a couple of years, and you can just keep multiplying and making your own fig trees. All right, let's go outside, and I'll show you what we're dealing with outside. But first, let's get the light hung up for these little fig trees. Okay, so I bought these at Walmart, a bunch of them actually, for about $17 each, and they are 5,500 lumen lights, and they only use 50 watts. So, well, it says 45 years of life if you use 3 hours a day. I use them from 7 a.m. to about 10 p.m. on everything, and I'll show that in a minute. But I'm going to hang this from my ceiling in my bathroom where a bunch of my other plants are because my bedroom's full. Okay, don't judge me when I show you this. Okay, you ready? This is what I got going on. These are bananas and dragon fruit plants. And beside that is a stack of papers from work because I bought 4 12 by 4 by 1 foot deep raised garden beds, the middle ones. They're on their way, so all of my old papers from work is going to be the bottom layer of those beds to help save with potting soil, and any kind of sticks or weeds or compost from the chicken coop is going to be all layered upon layered before I put my main soil over top of those for those 12 by 4 beds, because like I said, I've got 4 of them coming. That's a lot to fill, but I'll show that when I go outside where they're going to go. But I also have, you ready? More. It's a mess. When they were working on the sunroom, I had to bring everything in here that's normally in the sunroom, but I've got these growing under grow lights too. All these dragon fruit. Let's look in the bathroom. Okay, there's more plants in here under grow lights, and I'm gonna put all the figs right here, and they're gonna be hung from the ceiling, so that's where they're gonna go. Okay, so you just put the chains in there, and they are short. I want them to be longer, so this could be closer to the plants. So I'm gonna tie this string to that when I hang them, so they'll be hung down pretty low. All right, so those are hung via those little hooks on the ceiling. I've extended it with strings, and there we go. They'll be sitting in here under the grow light, and hopefully we'll have them nice and healthy and bigger in the spring. So I'll finish filling this table up later with the rest of them, and any other little seedlings that I might start, I might bring in here too, but that's all you got to do. It works wonderfully. All these plants in here. Okay, this is the new sunroom. The old clear roof is gone because it leaked nonstop. So we finally got that fixed, and I had them to build me a new counter. This, you all, I just put material down and I did an epoxy resin, 2 layers of epoxy resin pour over it, and created this cool looking, it looks like a glass top sink area where I'll be doing a lot of my watering plants and stuff in here. But feels so much better to not have all these leaks. So let's talk about what's going on outside. This is what's been going on since the 2nd. Today's the 15th of January. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of the 12x4 raised beds over here, and I'm going to grow flowers in the front, like along that fence line. There's people that's renovating this house and going to be moving in, so maybe to create a little bit of privacy, I'm going to buy some more table grape varieties that I want to grow up and out, back and forth both directions of this back fence line over here. And of course I'll have my garden bed right there, and these 2 garden beds. I tried to protect these. Ooh, that looks like mouse poop, maybe. Yeah, it does. Or rabbit poop, not mouse poop, rabbit poop, I think. I don't know. But this is that Asian American, I think this is an Ichikiki persimmon that I try to protect because it was like sub-zero temperatures this morning. I think it's the middle of the day and we're currently at 15 degrees, I think. Right here's another Asian American persimmon. So soon I'll be able to come out here and work on these trees, get those pruned back. I'll put the other 2 12x4 beds there with some more grape varieties. This is my pawpaws. I got an Asian pear, Asian pear there and there. And then this is a chi fruit tree. And this, we'll get to that in a minute. My orchard over here. You can see how the limbs have been trimmed back some. So that's the shape of that espalier tree. I'll keep training it, these longer limbs down, so they'll maybe have more branches coming up from them, and they'll get bigger every year. Like this one, look how big it's getting, and it's getting harder and staying in place better. You can see that fruiting spur right there. I'm going to try to keep them at this length, and in the summer I'm going to do a summer prune in addition to the prune that I just did on these a couple weeks ago before all the snow came in. But the summer prune will hopefully make them less likely to send up those water sprouts from the limbs like that one did last year when I did a heavy pruning in the winter time. That caused it to send up a lot of sprouts. So we're going to try to fix that problem by pruning more in the summer to keep the branches down. I still have, hopefully they're okay and under all this, the hardy kiwi. I think that's the hardy kiwi right there. And there's 3 of them on this fence that runs in between these trees. This right here, there's my pear trees. I'm doing espalier training. There's another one. They look pretty rough with all these strings whenever you're forming your structure, but I want that to eventually go like that. I gotta tighten that up later in the spring. This one, you can see its shape. I might finish pulling limbs down and keep it. I just want to keep them low. Keep the height down so I can easily reach the fruit like this one. Be pulling that limb back like this to train that to go further out too. And it will get bigger as it's right here and like this one. And they'll get more stronger to the point that, after they get so many feet out, I can stop them. And they'll have little spurs all over each of the limbs out with the fruit on them. This is the peach tree. So this I did cut a little bit out, but I'm going to do a little bit more. I think I'm going to take out this right here so it stays more vased. And I'm going to take the height down like that far down so it stays low. So the big change over here is the grapes. So what I'm going to do is get some cattle panel, and I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to keep these post or not. I'll see whenever it gets warmer out and I'm getting ready to work on this and start trimming these grapevines. But I'm going to put cattle panel either straight across or over like an archway, and the grapes can grow over or straight across. So we'll figure out in the spring, but it's either going to be straight that way or cattle paneled over. The sun comes up here, sets back here, so they'll get like full sun all the way around. But that's going to be a change. Got some trees cut down over here. After one fell and crushed my coop. I think in a previous video I might have showed that, I can't remember. But that coop used to be flat on top. So I had trees cut down. That big one right there, got that cut down, and then two right here. One of those is the one that fell in the coop and crushed it when the Hurricane Helene came through all the way up here in Kentucky. But this is what I did with the poly roof that used to be on the sunroom that was leaking. What in the world? Oh, there's a woodpecker. Hi, little guy. It's pretty. Look at it. How cool is that? But this was the poly roof. That's now an arched roof for the chickens, but when all the snow came, it was kind of tilting down, so I need to come back in here. I built this myself, y'all, as you could tell. Hi, girls! And it started getting cold, so I had to stop. But I want to bring it all the way over and keeps them. They have a dry space in there now, don't ya? We're trying to keep you from getting your feet frostbit by giving you a roofed area, little piggy wiggies. So that's about as far as I got, and I need to put 4x4 beams in here to help brace that up. So we'll put those on cinder blocks, those decking blocks that's meant for 4x4s. Hi, ladies. Okay, and then try to protect, there's that tree, it's gone. So I might eventually try to pull that fence back. I need to finish scoring away this land deep with the neighbor that gave me this little square or triangle piece of land. So I plan on planting maybe a couple of trees over there, but look at these pawpaws. I want to show you. Okay, normal stem right here. Look, it got its first fruit bud. That little bud right there is a fruit bud. The rest are stem buds. So it might abort the fruits the first year. Here's another one. See that? Because it's the first year it's got a fruit buds on it. But yeah. Okay. There's going to be big plans coming for the spring. Lots of work to be done. Lots of garden beds to be done. Lots of grape trellises to be done. I've ordered more grapes, more table grapes that hopefully will grow here in Zone 6. And took out the flower bed here because I have this little persimmon tree guy growing. Let's look on the other side. One last tree that I have to, oh wait, I forgot, shoot. Got another peach tree. It's crunchy cold, guys. This one. So I think I'm going to cut out this big limb right here. to open vase that even more. I like how this one's coming out. That's how I want all the limbs to be on these. Like even with that one, I might cut that back some, even, you know, something to top it to keep it going out. So lots of trim work to do on this one. I haven't even started on it. Anything going in I'll cut out, but that'll be a later video. I'll be back, ladies. Hold on. So this one, I can already see the main thing is cutting this is another peach tree, cutting the limbs going inward. But this one I might end up cutting out this whole limb to keep these 3 main branches. And then trim that down in height. This tree we might try to finish cutting out. Me and my son started cutting on that and got a bunch of it cut down. That's the mimosa tree. It gets in the way of the camper and leaves a mess. Ooh, another limb fell. Okay. Yeah, that was a dead limb. So we might cut these 2 down to get that kind of thinned out a little bit. And then we've got more little pawpaw trees over here, and they're also having little buds. Can't remember which ones. Oh, this is slick over here. You have to kind of look for them. It might not have been that one. Dang, you could go sledding on this hill. Okay. Yeah, right there's one. Maybe. No, that's a limb bud. It was you. Look, there's 2. See them? These are pawpaw buds. You can tell how they're kind of swollen little balls. Those are flower buds, but I don't think this little tree will hold on to those 2. But okay. Lots of changes coming. I guess that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.